There is not a possibility the Texans draft this player, and if they do, they're out of their mind. I love the idea, but the likelihood that he's even there at pick 25 is insane, and with the NFL draft tomorrow, you have so many reports just circling and just rumors that the Texans are going to take a running back as early as the first or second round, and I don't mind it, but there is so much depth at the running back position, there's no need to go all in, go crazy. We'll talk about the player, we'll talk about the ups and downs, but why it's so important to pick the right player, and honestly, just wait on a running back in general. So, draft this tomorrow. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Become a part of the Texans Digest community. You guys have been so incredible lately over the past few videos, just the past few months in general. We've grown so much, and actually are so close to a huge milestone on the channel, 1,000 subs. If you would hit the subscribe button, I would really love and appreciate all the support we can get as we pump out videos every day for you guys. So if you want to stay up to date with all Texans news, just hit that sub button. But back to kind of why the Texans should not take a running back early. And I've seen some comments on last videos saying, hey, I wouldn't mind taking Amari Hampton. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. Hampton is a amazing running back. He's a quick, shifty guy, and this is actually a good comparison to him and Ashton Jeanty is kind of like the Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs of this draft class, which is why I don't even think he's available by pick 15, pick 20, because Jahmyr Gibbs, I really wasn't expecting him to go that early in the draft, and now with people saying Hampton could be on the rise, maybe he falls for some crazy reason, but this is a Bijan and Gibbs, this is a similar draft class, because Genty's going to go top 10, Hampton's probably going to be shortly after. So he's a great back. He's speedy. He's shifty. He's got some strength. He can run you over, but he's so patient. And getting NFL comparisons to Joe Mixon of the Houston Texans. So that's the only reason why they're saying, hey, the Texans are getting chaotic and looking at running back in Amari Hampton or TreVeyon Henderson. Now, I've seen the comments before. People love TreVeyon Henderson and just a great counterpart from Quinshon Judkins. Just a great in that system at Ohio State, just a quick, speedy back. I think he fit very well as a secondary option to Joe Mixon. However, you got to pay a good price to get him, right? If you're going to get Henderson at pick 58, you're going to have to pick him second round. And I don't have a problem with that. But the amount of running backs that you can get third, fourth, even fifth or sixth round, that's what Dameon Pierce was, a late fourth, fifth round pick out of Florida. I mean, that's what you want to see. So, I don't know how to look at running back, but I can tell you one thing. The Texans need to go O-line, and then they need a receiver before they go get a running back. And even if you wait to the third round, you still got your R.J. Harveys on the board. You still got probably Cam Skattebo. I mean, there's so many good talent that you can go for. And realistically, is there that big of a difference between a Cam Skattebo and a TreVeyon Henderson? Maybe 30, 40 picks later. Seriously, though. I mean, you tell me. What is the likelihood the Texans go out and get a running back early? I know we would love to get the flashy picks, but just stay with me on planet Earth right now. This is not a good idea to go get a running back in the first 50 picks. I love Henderson. I love Hampton. Both great, explosive, amazing talents. But listen to me. There is not much of a difference between an all-star running back in the first or second round than picking up somebody later in the draft. So I might get a lot of pushback for this, but I feel like there's so much depth. Even a Dylan Sampson, somebody who can fill in right behind Joe Mixon and go to work. And not to mention, you could draft the right guy. If you don't have the right offensive line, will they succeed? Will they be in that much better of a situation? You be the judge in the comments. You can call me crazy, but would you take a running back early, miss out on an offensive tackle, offensive guard, wide receiver, the important positions? To me, as a fan, or as just looking at the team in general, you need tackle because Cam Robinson's not the future. He signed a 1-year contract. Why would you want Cam Robinson as your future cornerstone left tackle and take Amari Hampton with your first-round pick? That just sounds like craziness to me. So instead, why don't you go and wait to the third or fourth or even fifth round? I don't even care if it's Tootin you got a bunch of guys later in rounds. So the running back position, there's not a scarcity. There's going to be plenty of them. You can go sign somebody off the free agency market, but even Dameon Pierce is fine. I don't mind Pierce, but if you want to go get a 1-2 punch in TreVeyon Henderson, I don't have a problem with that. But the biggest thing is Amari Hampton linked to the Texans is scaring me. If you think Hampton's going to be at pick 25, raise your hand. Not me. I don't think that's not a possibility in terms of my thoughts. I have mocked him to the Cowboys at pick 12. So, I mean, maybe he's there at 25, but regardless, if the Texans take a running back at 25, there is a serious problem. You have so many other things that you need in terms of actual younger offensive linemen so you can actually coach people up. You got a 33-year-old left guard, you got a 29-year-old left tackle, and you got a 33-year-old right tackle. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me. But Trent Brown, Laken Tomlinson, Cam Robinson, they're great and all, but you need younger guys to rebuild around. And that's what Caserio's plan is, at least I think. Get all this nonsense out here about running back early, running back this, running back that. If they take Travion Henderson in round 2, great. I don't think it's the best idea. I'd rather go get maybe a Trey Harris or a Emeka Egbuka or somebody else. Because one round later, you could draft a Dylan Sampson. You could draft, like I just said, all these other guys. So RJ Harvey even. I think Harvey's a great kind of counterpart to Joe Mixon. That'd be great. But there's just doesn't make any sense at all to go with a running back this early. And honestly, looking at where Hampton's going, it's not likely he's going to be going out of the first round at all. So, well, whoever said that Hampton is looming to the Texans, it doesn't make sense to me. If the Texans are that high on a running back, then they're trying to trade up for Genty. I think they're crazy. I know Mixon's getting older. You definitely need a running back, but you don't need a running back today. The Raiders need a running back today. There's a bunch of other teams that need a running back today. But the Texans are fine. Joe Mixon was amazing last year. He had an ankle injury. It happens. That's the game of football. But get a running back. And I'm not saying don't get a running back. But you have 3 rounds. First 3 rounds to figure out, okay, what running back do we want? You have this guy, this guy, this guy. There's about 100 different running backs you could go for in the NFL draft. There's undrafted guys you could go for that have gotten 1,000 yards before. Philip Lindsay, Carlos Hyde. I don't think he's undrafted, but guys later in drafts that have performed. They've done really well. Even James Robinson was undrafted. He had 1,000 yards with the Jaguars. So I love the flashiness. The big names are things that people want to see happen all the time. You got to stay realistic. You got to make sense for what's going to happen. And will this make any sense? To you, to me, to Texans fans, if Nick Caserio trades up and say, we're going to take Omarion Hampton, I would be like this. I'd be like, what are you doing? And hopefully we'll have a live reaction tomorrow for the draft, but it's just like, I don't believe it's possible. I think it would be the dumbest decision ever for the Texans to take a running back. It's not smart, early at least. I think first 2 rounds, you need to focus on the positions of need. Offensive tackle and offensive guard. And then wide receiver. Those are your top 3 needs right now. I know it may not seem like a need because you filled the void for getting a veteran, but you need guys for the future. And you can't just have veterans, especially when last year the receiving room, I know it's different, but the receiving room and kind of the offensive line was just banged up all season. Shaq Mason in and out of games. Kenyon Green, not that he was any good, but in and out of games. That's not good. So you can't have players missing games, and you can't just have one veteran and say, yep, that's good. So I think there's not a possibility the Texans go with a running back in the first round or second round. Second round maybe, but I think it's the dumbest thing ever if they do it first round in Hampton. So stop it with these rumors. It just really doesn't make any sense to me. First pick, I would project one of the following. You have Josh Cornerly out of Oregon. You have Kelvin Banks if he falls. Probably, maybe they trade up. Maybe. I don't believe so. Maybe. So Kelvin Banks, Cornerly, Booker, and I would personally love Emeka Egbuka. But those are the top 3, top 4. And let me know your guys' thoughts on running back. I know they might look great, but there's also a large majority of them that can do the same exact thing because that's what running back is. You don't pay somebody $20 million a season unless you're Derrick Henry or Todd Gurley. I mean, look what happened in the past. So, excuse me. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's video. Omarion Hampton linked to the Houston Texans. A lot of scary stuff for a Texans fan because I honestly, with all these rumors, I have no clue what the Texans are going to do. I can only think, I can only hope for what I think they should do, but you're only speculating until they do what they do at the end of the day. Because there's a very good chance that Nick Caserio could just say, screw it, we're going after, I don't know, Tetero McMillan, or you want to go get Membu from Missouri. Nick Caserio is crazy enough to where I think he could do whatever he wants. But there's a certain style of how he runs this team, how he kind of makes his picks, going with. So I trust Nick Caserio. Hopefully you guys do as well. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit that subscribe button. Join the Texans Digest community. You guys have been unbelievable. And drafts tomorrow. See probably live reaction and all that. But appreciate everyone watching. Let me know your thoughts. And we'll see you in the next video.